Finding a business that pays you while you sleep, that is everyone's dream. Think about it. You are asleep, and money is still landing in your account. Sounds like something out of a fantasy. Turns out it is not. There are real businesses out there that can actually get you to that exact spot. And here is the part that gets people. Some of these businesses are already making regular people $300, even $1,200 a month without them ever touching a client email. I'm going to walk you through 15 of them, real numbers, real examples, one at a time. Stick around, because the last one on this list connects every single business before it. And once you see it, you will never look at boring the same way again. Number 15, cleaning houses and offices. A solo operator with 4 recurring clients a week can pull in $6,200 to $9,800 a month. Scale to a 4-person crew, and that jumps to $20,000 to $32,000 a month, with margins between 30 and 45%. The secret was never cleaning better than everyone else. It is the client who pays you every week for a year being worth more than 10 clients who hire you once. The client never sees you struggle to keep up. They just see a spotless kitchen every Monday morning, and they keep paying for that feeling. Most people who try this business do not fail because they clean poorly. They fail because they spend every week chasing brand new clients instead of holding on to the ones who already trust them. Number 14, pressure washing. No harness, no license, no massive investment, just equipment that costs between $1,800 and $4,800. Smart operators do not chase one-time jobs. They sign annual contracts with buildings and condos, and that turns into income that shows up whether they chase a new client or not. Most people quote a single job and move on. The ones who get rich quote the contract instead. Demand does not even depend on the economy. When money is good, people wash their homes to make them look nice. When it is not, businesses still have to keep their storefronts clean by contract, whether they feel like it or not. Number 13, bookkeeping. Small businesses pay $600 to $1,800 a month because most owners hate doing their own books. 8 clients at $1,200 each is already $9,600 a month. No office, no employees, just a laptop. What you are really selling is not spreadsheets. You are selling the relief of not having to think about it at midnight before a deadline. You do not need a certification to start. You need enough discipline to open the same file every single week, whether you feel like it or not. Number 12, vending machines. Today's machines take cards, have screens, and get monitored from a phone. A well-placed machine can bring in $360 to $1,200 a month in pure profit. One operator overseas built up 42 machines and has not personally touched one in years because he pays someone else a flat fee to run the restocking route. What he is really selling is not soda. It is permission to sit in a spot that used to make $0 a month. That hallway by the break room, it was worth nothing until someone decided to put a machine there. The key to this business was never the product on the shelf. It was always the location, and finding the location nobody else had thought to ask about. Number 11, window cleaning for commercial buildings. It looks dangerous, it looks blue-collar, it looks like the last thing anyone with an education would choose. Turns out that is exactly why it works. Contracts with office towers and hospitals pay between $480 and $1,200 per workday, and an operator running 3 two-person crews can bill $360,000 a year without ever strapping on a harness himself. The barrier was never money. It was the fear of heights from someone who could just hire another person to go up. And here is the pattern you will see repeat through this entire list. The business that feels the most physically uncomfortable to do is usually the one with the least competition. If heights make you dizzy, you do not need to climb anything yourself. You just need to find someone who will, pay them well, and keep the difference. Number 10, pest control. Nobody wants to think about cockroaches, but cockroaches do not care. The market sits around $19 billion and keeps climbing. Once you sign a monthly contract, it renews itself, because no business wants a health inspection ruined by a pest problem. Nobody negotiates with an inspector standing in the doorway. They just pay every single month without complaint. Number 9, ATM networks. Each machine can generate $1,200 to $3,600 a month in net profit. You do not serve a single customer. You just keep it stocked with cash and charge for being there when someone needs it. The whole business runs on one truth. There are places where people need cash and do not have it on hand, and showing up with the solution is worth more than people think. Number 8, portable restroom rental. Probably the least attractive business on this entire list, and that is exactly why it is one of the most profitable. The market is valued around $18 billion and is expected to reach $31 billion by 2030. Every construction site and every event needs one. Nobody wants to own one. You can. The model is simple. You buy the units, rent them out per event or per month, clean them on a set route, and collect payment every time they get used. The uglier the product, the fewer people willing to compete against you for it. Number 7, equipment rental. Buying a mower or a scaffold set costs thousands of dollars most people do not want to spend for one weekend. So someone else buys it once and rents it out dozens of times over its useful life. Everything after the first few rentals is pure profit. The contractor renting it does not care who owns it. He just needs it for 3 weeks and then never again. Number 6, sports card reselling. It sounds like a hobby, not a business, and that is exactly why almost nobody competes here. Buy a bulk lot, grade the cards, sell the valuable ones on the right marketplace. It is not luck. It is a repeatable process that most people never take seriously enough to start. One mispriced card can wipe out the profit from a dozen good ones, so the whole game comes down to discipline, not excitement. Number 5, the laundromat. Around $5.8 billion a year in the industry, average revenue near $130,000 per location, margins up to 30%. And, honestly, here is the number that gets people. 88% of laundromats are still running after 5 years. Compare that to any new restaurant. People will always need clean clothes. That does not change with the economy, and it does not change with a new app. A big part of the revenue does not even come from the machines anymore. It comes from what surrounds them: snack vending, an ATM in the corner, free Wi-Fi that keeps people waiting a little longer inside. Without anyone planning it that way, one laundromat quietly turns into 3 small businesses under the same roof. Number 4, self-storage. The market sits above $38 billion with more than 42,000 facilities, and almost 1 in 9 households now rents a unit, up from around 9% a few years ago to 11% today. Homes got smaller, people kept the same amount of stuff. The business is not selling space, it is selling relief from a problem modern life keeps creating on its own. Number 3, parking lots. A well-located lot can bring in $8,000 to $25,000 a month, and someone running 5 small lots can clear $480,000 a year, almost passively. No product, no inventory, just the right patch of empty land. It does not compete on marketing or customer service. It competes only on location, and location cannot be copied overnight. Number 2, buying an existing business instead of starting one from zero. Even a franchise, with an average annual revenue around $850,000 and an upfront cost near $220,000, is really just buying someone else's instruction manual, the mistakes they already paid to make so you do not have to. Buying cash flow that already works removes the scariest part of any new venture, the part where you spend a year not knowing if it will ever pay off. And number 1, the one that ties all 14 of these together. It is not a specific business, it is a question. Does it pay you once, or does it pay you every month? Sell a popsicle, and you earn once. Rent out the popsicle cart, and you earn every month without selling another one yourself. Let me show you this through Marcus and Ethan. Same age, same starting point, 2 completely different outcomes. This is their story. Marcus was 31 when he decided he wanted his time back. He spent 2 years chasing the perfect idea, an app, a product, something nobody had built yet. He burned through his savings on ideas that never took off, because every one of them was competing against 1,000 people just as ambitious. There was a night, month 8 of that search, when he sat in his car outside an investor meeting that lasted 11 minutes before the man across the table said it was not a fit. Inside, he was doing the math on his savings the entire drive home. And look, Marcus was not lazy. He worked long nights. He read every book on the subject. He showed up to every meeting fully prepared. He just kept betting on the one idea nobody else had thought of, in a room full of people betting on the exact same thing. Today, at 38, he is still employed, still searching, phone face down on the desk most nights because he does not want to check how much time has actually passed. Ethan was the same age when he started. Instead of chasing something new, he bought a small laundromat that had already been running for 12 years. He did not invent it. He bought cash flow that already worked. The first time he walked in to see it, half the machines were running, and an older woman was folding towels by the window, like she had done every week for a decade. While he was still paying off the loan, he added 2 vending machines in a gym down the street. 3 years later, the combined income let him walk away from his job for good. His money comes in while he sleeps, exactly like we said at the start, and nobody around him would ever guess that is how he built it. He still drives the same car. He still shops at the same grocery store. The only thing that changed is that his mornings belong to him now, and nobody at his old job ever found out why he really left. The difference between Marcus and Ethan was never intelligence, or luck, or starting capital. Marcus worked harder those first 2 years than Ethan ever did, and honestly, that is the uncomfortable part. He failed because he chose a field where 1,000 people just as driven were fighting for the same spot. Ethan chose a field almost nobody wanted, and that is exactly why he had it to himself. So next time an idea crosses your mind, yours or one from this list, ask that one question first. Does it pay you once, or does it pay you every month? Ask it about the side hustle you are considering. Ask it about the shop you are thinking of opening. Ask it before you sign anything, before you spend anything, before you tell anyone about it. That single question filters out almost everything people chase and leaves you only with what actually builds wealth. Tell me in the comments, which of these 15 surprised you the most? Subscribe if you want more of this. The one is you.